part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
This is Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action. This is Mark Wade, writer of Superman Burgoyne, and you're listening to the Krypton Report.
Welcome to the Krypton Report, the new podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network. I'm your host, Tyler, the Superman of Blue, the Man of Tomorrow. And with me, as always, is James. That's right, James Cole. You've heard that name before, I know. But he's the Superman of Red, the Man of Steel. And we're here to talk about everything DC Comics and Superman related, because that's what we love to do, people. So welcome, James.
Hey, Tyler. How are you doing this evening?
Man, I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever.
I know. It's been like so long.
So long, bro. But hey, we are here. We're back in action. Like the Power Rangers, we're back in action.
Go, Power Rangers.
Check out our... everybody head over to... and check out our Patreon for a special Power Rangers sample. If you're... But hey, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's kind of weird, actually, how we have like, we don't got anything to talk about. We don't got any news. Then it was like, that's right. Just like, oh, wow, that was a lot. But let's just get into it. Okay. First things up front. We called it. We straight up called it. After one season, they have canceled Naomi.
Yeah, they did.
Did it surprise anybody?
I mean, it didn't. I didn't hear a lot of positivity out there about it. Nothing like real negative, except for, it just wasn't like holding people's attention and like the demographic is probably not the majority of the people who ended up watching it.
I mean, it's one of those shows.
Or gave it a shot, rather.
Like, who's this for? We expect more out of our superhero shows.
So, I mean, Jamie liked it, so I have a feeling that we are going to finish it, and I will watch it with her, and when it's over, finally tell her that there won't be another one. Otherwise, that may be something she just doesn't choose to watch. So, she liked it, so I should at least let her enjoy what there is.
You're like, hey, I gotta watch something.
And I do want to check out Ray Porter in the show. I know it's the finale, but it's not like it only had like, what was it, 12, 13 episodes?
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna watch for Ray Porter just because he was really cool on Twitter when I told him about how my daughter was loving Darkseid. So more power to Mr. Porter. So, but it is kind of bummed. Like, hey Ray, yeah, we're gonna bring you in, man. We're gonna get this big role in season 2. You are the villain. Awesome. Film this little part here at the end. Sure, guys, no problem. Hey Ray, yeah, what's up? Show's canceled.
Balls.
They're doing a spinoff for Supernatural, right? Can I go be on that show? Yeah, why not?
Probably, yeah.
So Naomi is canceled. No big surprise there. Sadly, I hate saying it like that because I hate seeing. But just watching the first episode, I was like, "Wow, this is bad." So, yeah. So we got that. Okay, so what else happened? Oh, let's see here. DC released the Multiverse Us game trailer, and they released the alpha testing version. So me and Solomon kind of started doing that. That's been pretty fun.
Yeah, I gotta look and see if it's available. Jimmy wants to check it out. I do too.
Well, let me see. I got an email. I haven't got a chance to look at it that I can share with a friend for the testing. Let me figure this email out and I'll send it your way.
Hmm, cool.
Because yeah, I signed up way back when they first like premiered it. I was like, hey, when it was like sign up for now for testing, I was like, I'm gonna do this crap. And then I kind of forgot about it till they did that trailer. But it looks cool. I mean, you can be Shaggy and Superman and Velma and Bugs Bunny, and so it's enjoyable. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Oh, rumor is that Titans season 4 will drop in October.
That's exciting.
So yeah,
I'm still on board with the show. Questionable choices aside, we've discussed that before. It's still pretty good,
it,
and it
it's
could
nice.
be great. We'll see if they ever give it the chance to push over that line. It keeps wanting to get really close to and then pull away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Um, the Wonder Twins movie has been canceled. Okay, so keep that in mind, people, as we go through some of this other stuff. I wasn't like pumped for Wonder Twins, but it was like, huh, okay. But yeah, that's gone. We have the announcement of a new Justice League video game. Did you see this? But it's like very kidified.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, oh, cool. It just it looked neat. It's, a new Justice League game has been revealed. And it looks kind of adorable. It looks like little like figures, like vinyl figures, brought to life.
Yeah.
I'll play it. I'll give it a shot.
Nah, I'm gonna check it out for sure. I mean, I've got the I've got like all the DC Lego games.
Yeah, it's like people get it plugged in. Okay. Oh, and by the way, it was a $75 million budget for the Wonder Twins movie, and it was too much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would have seen it. Um, it's
Oh yeah,
not like it's something that I'm gonna miss. Um, I hope they premiere in something else. I mean, we got that tease at the end of Crisis that, you know, could have brought them in, but we
Crisis
got
was a
nothing
tease.
going there.
James, Crisis was the tease. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, you should know this by now that everything that was promised at the end of Crisis was nothing but empty promises.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, I mean, partly got screwed by a pandemic, but I'm also curious to know if there was any plan after Crisis.
I mean there had to be something, but
Yeah, their plan was like, we've got them all on the same Earth. It should break wide open to be able to do all kinds of stories and easier crossovers, and then nothing.
nothing. But yeah, all right, moving on here. We have more to talk about. So here's one that's weird. Okay, here's one that is weird. That the Christopher Reeve estate has signed. I'll read the post. It's from the Hollywood Reporter. Warner Brothers has also signed a deal with the Christopher Reeves estate to license his name and likeness for use in future films, TV, theme parks, and merchandising through digital technology, archive footage, and other forms. Now that's interesting. Okay. It is cool for merchandising and stuff and likenesses that maybe you could do more with like the stories and do like a more continuation and actually make it look like him or
Well, I mean, if they were able to use his likeness in rides and stuff, you know what I mean? They would be able to
right.
recreate Reeve for rides and things as well. Um, you know, as movies progress, the more and more they keep doing that type of stuff, I fear as to what it means by means for these characters to never nobody ever having an opportunity to play these characters again.
And that brings up
Um,
Star Wars.
which yeah, that's part of a thing there, which I really like, at least like the fact that Hamill's been involved with that, so he gets to do a character performance.
Until the
Well,
last one, until the Book of Boba Fett.
I yeah, you guys have said that and I haven't gotten a chance to watch that yet, so
It's literally his. He even said he had no involvement. They had an actor. They digitally put Hamill's face as a young Luke.
and
They
uses
used dialogue from the movies and other performances and books on tapes and things that he's recorded, and created the lines of dialogue. So
right.
so Mark had no participation in the creation of the Luke Skywalker that appears in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh wow.
And that's what's creepy.
Yeah, I don't like that. Now, like, there's a difference, I think, because that just happened with Stan Lee. To be able to use his likeness. I think since his was a cameo purpose, just to show up as random cameos, I mean, I think that that use is more in tribute, whereas the way these other companies are like pushing towards it almost seems as though they they don't, they'll just cut the actors out completely and recreate people out of computers,
Exactly.
and
And I
and they
mean,
don't need a live action performance, which is awful to think about.
well, Kathleen Kennedy, who's now become the joke of producers, and God, would someone overthrow her and get her away from Star Wars, stated that the problem with Solo was that you can't have young actors play the versions of these characters. No, that wasn't the problem with Solo.
Which I
The
think
problem,
is untrue.
because I liked Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. I liked um, Donald Glover as Lando.
Yeah.
I think they did an amazing job. I think that movie just had the production value. You mismarketed. You released it in May. You didn't keep the December pattern. You released it too soon after the fallout from the Last Jedi. You didn't. You could have taken more production time and released it in December. You released it like a couple weeks before or after Endgame. So you're competing with yourself. You shot yourself in the foot with it. It had nothing to do with the actors and their performances because we liked the actors.
I was
So
gonna
the
say
fact that
most people I know who has watched Solo um mostly likes it.
so for her to say that, we can't do that just shows you how that they'll be like, oh, we'll just resurrect with digital technology, which for a cameo appearance like it was for Luke at the end of last year or the Mandalorian, that's one thing. They expand it in the Book of Boba Fett, and it just gets to the point where it's weird. It's I mean, they shouldn't have done the Carrie Fisher thing they did in the end of um what do you call it? Rogue One. Shouldn't have done that. I didn't mind the Moff Tarkin thing. That was kind of neat. Because he is integral to the story, but they could have filmed it just a little bit different of him more in the shadow. Um, but yeah, so that's just weird. But moving on to some happy news, got the Bat Wheels premiering in the fall. Going to be rolling in on like the preschool show Bat Wheels, and you know that I'll be watching it with my kids.
Yeah, I got a new baby coming right up in her alley.
She'll be a year old, roughly, give or take, by the time it rolls out. So
Yep.
you'll be like, watch this. So that's all we know. We got a poster, no trailer, nothing. It'll be on Cartoon Network and HBO Max. So that'll be awesome. Speaking of kid stuff, we're finally starting to see some Super Pet toys. I sent you some photos.
You did send me some photos.
They're all more like Fisher. So I don't know if they're going to do anything more, but Fisher Price did these little like Crypto and Superman and Crypto and all the other pets. There's Ace and Batman. Then there's like a large plush of Crypto and Superman. And you know what? I'm gonna get me one of these because they're adorable and it's a Superman figure. And I need a good Crypto. So pretty.
Right.
Seen them on Amazon and I've seen some advertisement for a plush Crypto at Target, but I haven't seen them in the store yet. But I actually haven't really been to the store yet. So
No,
yeah,
I haven't been to the store looking for toys. It's not time for that.
like James, like I'm an old man, Tyler. I don't look for toys. Pff, I just go on Amazon and buy toys like a normal person. Why do you,
Right.
so when they get delivered, I'm like, yeah, it's from our kid. I don't go to the store, but it's cool. I mean, I hate that movie got pushed back because it would have been out by now, wasn't it? Because it's supposed to be in May.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, we'd already been enjoying it and having a good time, but no, stupid people. Anyways, fall premieres. We found out that Superman and Lois will not premiere until basically early next 2023. So probably like it did before, maybe like in February, January 2023 was when season 3 of Superman and Lois will premiere. Kind of a bummer, but all right. And that Stargirl, which we thought was going to be premiering here soon and run through the summer, is now premiering in the fall. So Stargirl will be in the fall for season 3, and Superman and Lois and The Flash will both be in early 2023.
Yep.
So fall 2022, we'll get Stargirl season 3.
Oh, I think that'll be kind of cool, just having Stargirl on.
Yeah, I mean the shows we're getting less and less of these superhero shows. A little easier to keep up
I
with.
don't. Yeah, it'll be easier to keep up with, and I don't think that it's that we've said for a very long time how they should just be shorter and kind of year round, and um, that way people can pay attention to more of the series because there's not so much content everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a couple of shows on TV, you have a couple of shows streaming, that's as much as people can keep up with. But if you constantly have them rotating throughout the year, it'd be much easier for people to keep up on them
Yeah.
than 5 with like 20 episodes, give or take.
And speaking of, we have one more good thing, and then we'll get on to the bad thing. I did not know this, and I suggest Libra Mayho will be taking over excuse me, will be taking over the covers, the variant covers for Action Comics. And holy crap, the first one that they released the image of, it's beautiful, James.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I friggin' love it. I'm so happy that he's doing Action Comic variant covers now. He's been doing Detective for quite a while, and I mean all of his covers are always great. And
I always buy, if I'm buying a book and he does a variant cover, I buy his
yeah,
cover.
and I was at one point I was buying Detective, but I just had to whittle my numbers down. And so now that he's going to be he's going to be doing variants for a book that I buy every month. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting those.
The only one that he did a variant that I don't have the cover for that I want is I want the actual issue because I bought it in a collection of the Secret Origins New 52 that he did. That's probably my favorite Superman drawing he's ever done. And the Action, was it the Action 1000 that had all the different covers? Why am I drawing a blank now? He did one of the covers for. No, it was when it wasn't 1000. It was when dang it, Tyler. What's 1000? When they did all like the different decades, like each cover was a different decade. Do you remember that? And his we even looked at it together in the comic book store that one day.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. Oh well. People will find it. But all right. So now it's time for the sadness. Are you ready?
Yes.
So Gotham Knights was ordered to series. And for those who want to hear me really rant about it, go check out the episode before this because I was so frustrated I had to record something in my car and I put it up immediately. You know, and I say this because we heard it was ordered to series and it seemed like Warner was cleaning house. They were getting rid of they canceled Batwoman, they canceled Legends, Naomi, they just canceled the Wonder Twins movie, like stuff they didn't think was good. They were getting rid of it. They were consolidating. And then I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like maybe they're gonna like pump this show up and it's gonna be kind of like Superman and Lois, but with the Bat property. And then I thought maybe they would cancel Titans after season 4 because they're going to put all their money in building up this property, you know? Then they released the Image, and I'm going to let you talk now. Ready, James? And go.
Yeah, the Image just looks stupid. I mean, a dark, dingy alley with, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't scream Gotham. The characters are this. There's no costumes to be seen. Not in the promotional image. I mean, I think most people who are looking to check this out or who would be looking to see these characters in costume.
I feel like
Um,
just using the term Gotham Knights is damaging the brand of the upcoming game.
right. Um, I mean, yes, four of these characters are actually real characters, but the main character is a made up uh character like Ryan Wilder. Like
Yes.
they just want a totally made up original character so that way they can do whatever they want.
And they're already doing whatever they want.
Um, I don't know. They've done really well with costumes in the Arrowverse, like some great, some pretty good. Um, and just I know this is beyond the Arrowverse now, but it's just I don't know. It's horrible and it looks like crap. Um,
This first
it's
Image,
let's do a Batman show without Batman or any of his side characters and just follow around some edgy teens in Gotham.
the characters that we like don't even recognize.
I
Like
mean, there's Carrie Kelly, Stephanie Brown, Harper Row, and Colin Rowe. Those are all characters from the comics. But the main character is what's his name?
I can't remember. Bull crap and bull crap.
Yeah, it Turner something or other, I think.
Um,
But I mean, the
and
only thing that had
Turner
me
Turner Hayes.
yeah, the only thing that has me any kind of interested in is Misha Collins is playing Two-Face. He's playing Dent. Um
What kills me? Okay, I was talking with this with my friend. You want diversity in these shows. This is all CW is about representation. Okay, why not make the character that's in the forefront Duke Thomas? Because then you'd have he's actually in the comics, an actual in the comics character that's come up recently, and you'd have this new kind of group of characters that are all comics based, most created by Scott Snyder, um, that are leading this team, and we're not interrupting any Robins or anything like that. We're using these more obscure. You put Cassandra Cain in there, also, would be great because, and then look, the fact that they made Carrie Kelly, like they keep trying to force Carrie Kelly into main continuity when she's like an Elseworld character is crazy. And the fact that Carrie Kelly is now played by an African American when the character is usually a redhead is weird. Just because it seems like all these characters that were played by redheads have now become African American people. Not that I care about the race swapping. It's just weird that when it does happen, it's someone who is usually a redhead. That's just a
Yeah,
weird.
most of the redheads have been phased out of DC and other media except for print.
Right. It's just kind of weird.
I mean, it's a little pick, but it's still just a little weird because it is across the board so far.
Um. So, but yeah, it looks horrible. Like I still stand by you had to put Duke Thomas in there, and at least had another character from the comics.
And a character who's so new, he has um he has very little history um in the comics that you could basically do mostly original stuff with him, especially with the angle that this story is taking.
And then we just put an Alfred in there, you know. But whatever. I'm done talking about. I'll watch the pilot just because I can, and we'll do a whole episode. Maybe it'll be on Patreon because I'll be using some flavorful, colorful, grown up words.
Yeah, I was trying to keep that out of it because when this picture dropped, I sent some of those colorful words your guys' way
I
about
was
my
just,
thoughts on it.
I was just like, what is this? Like they're not. I'm done talking about this. Okay, so let's talk about something good. Let's move on to our next segment. Young Justice has been doing really, really well, and it's been 2 weeks since we talked Young Justice. So I'm going to try to our last week's episode, not this current week, but last week's episode was cool because I'm trying to remember all the details that got me excited, but they try to pull Zod out of the Phantom Zone, and Superboy stops Zod from escaping. Not because he was trying to stop Zod, but because he thought he was saving Zod. And we learn that the Zod's learn that Superboy is an L of some sort, but they say, is he Zor-El's son? Like, no, he had a daughter. So that's the first mention of Zor-El and Supergirl. Supergirl still has not been brought into Young Justice. And I'm telling you, I would love Supergirl to come into Young Justice.
Oh yeah, yeah, I absolutely believe that. I think that if they continue forward, she will be here shortly.
Because I'm going to say this, I need something to watch with both my kids. And I say that because there is no cartoon or anything that has both Superboy and Supergirl in it. We never got to Supergirl in the connective continuity of the DC animated films. And then we never got to Superboy in Superman the Animated Series or Justice League. There has not been. I want, in all reality, I would love to have a super show movie that's kind of based off that last arc in Superman comics that had Connor, um, John, Kara, and Superman all together.
Yeah, I think that was in the action
Yeah.
run. I think some of the story crossed over, but I think that was more in the action run.
So yes, I would love to have that. Um, but yeah, I need Connor, Superboy, or John and Supergirl all to be together in something. I need some more Superboy stuff to show my kids. Because Solomon, when I was watching some Superboy, I've been enjoying Superboy the Adventures of Superboy, however you want to say it, the old TV series on Tubi. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Tubi.
Ooh, nice. I have Tubi. I'm gonna have to go look that up.
Dude, everything that was missing from DC Universe is on Tubi right now.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
Superboy, the old Shazam, Batman 66, It's all on Tubi. Even they had like the Legends of the Superheroes on there for a little while. But yeah, I've been enjoying watching Superboy over there. But, and I have to tell Solomon when I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, it's Superboy. He's like, but it looks like Superman. Yes, Solomon. It's because technically it is Superman. Just it's Clark just as a boy. And ironically, Gerard Christopher was the oldest person to ever get the part of Superman, but yet he was playing Superboy when he was cast. That's a moniker to have. But anyways, back to Young Justice. So that was awesome. And it was something that I got excited about, was just the promise of more Kryptonian action. And then in this past episode, spoilers, Connor pledged himself to Zod.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
He kneeled before Zod. Well, I think, the Phantom Zone sickness and then the warped worldview that Zod has of what he was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's manipulated him into believing, especially after they found out he's an L. Now they seriously have ulterior motives by having him around and using him.
All very interesting. So yeah, I encourage everyone to check out this season of Young Justice. It is so much better than last season. Though this episode most recently did upset me just a little bit. Do you know why?
Because Brion was in it.
Oh, see, yep, this is why James is my buddy.
As soon as I saw Brion show up, I was like, "Oh, Tyler's no longer liking this episode."
He knows me so well, people. He knows me terribly well. But yeah,
I do say that he is a little more interesting as he's being manipulated.
yes,
And the I don't know what the word is, the
Jafar.
where they were where they were threatening non-metas to get out of Markovia.
Yeah, that was interesting. Where they're not allowing the metas to really work the way it's supposed to. Brion wants everyone to be in peace, but they don't want it. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's not yeah, it's not what he was trying to do because he's being manipulated by that psychic.
That's why I said Jafar.
Yeah, Jafar. Exactly, yeah.
But all right, so I think it pretty much catches up with comics, Young Justice, or it's time to get into comics. Which one do you want to do first? Superman, Son of Kal-El 11, or World's Finest number 3?
Oh man, I don't know. They were both really good.
Superman, Son of Kal-El it is. It's in my hand.
Yeah, Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 11. Last we left, John was being told that he couldn't trust Jay by Batman.
Yep. Can I just say real quick though? When I opened my comic here, the fact that Naomi is on the back cover and
on the
says
back
new
of the
episodes on
cover.
Tuesday, new episodes Tuesday. I had to laugh. But all right,
No longer.
continue.
Jay is leaving messages for Superboy. Superboy, I like his inner monologue of being scared being intimidated by Batman, but he definitely has to stand up to him. Batman says that Jay is part of the revolutionaries, violent extremists, which later on we get to find out in here that they are the Suicide Squad from Tom Taylor's run on the Suicide Squad,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is really cool. That wasn't too long ago. Batman being somewhat, I mean, he's being true, but he's also being um, just as close as stubborn as he always is. Um, I love the conversation here between Bruce and Pa Kent.
That is the best part. That is what made this book amazing for me. Was that because he brings up John as a child, but he also talks about how Pa Kent and Alfred were friends and would talk to each other. And that was just really cool to.
Oh yeah, he talks about his questionable judgment. He knows that he almost married Catwoman. I love when he tells him, out of the two of us, which one has raised a Superman, or who has the most experience raising a Superman. Which you
Yep,
can't argue with Superman's dad. I mean, he's the reason he is the reason he's the way he is.
exactly.
This story about the cat is actually in the Rebirth comics,
Mm-hmm.
where John Kent tries to rescue the cat and fails. Um, it's actually very strong the way that it's written and the way he delivers it. Um, Superman calls Nightwing. He wants to talk with him, ask him his opinion. Says, "What's up? Been framed for another murder?" He says, "No, it's Batman." "Oh, what's he done now?" Um, I like the conversation they have because he basically talks to him about investigating him, sneaking around. He says, "I guess I could just try talking to him." He says, "It's more on brand. Try that."
Well, I mean, I like the first one he calls him. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Just dealing with arsonists." And then you see him like fly in, take out the fire, and then wrap the arsonist up in a steel beam.
Yeah. Well, I like Nightwing because he's not Batman. Like, I had that under control, which we actually have a line just like that to Superman in World's Finest when we get there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Nightwing says, "John, I feel no personal ownership over these arsonists. My ego can handle an assist from Superman. Also, there's a small fire that," and he puts it out before he even gets to finish the sentence.
Yep.
Um, I
And
mean,
then
it's really awesome to get to see a lot of Tom Taylor's writing crossover. You get to see a lot of his Nightwing crossover with Superman. You even get to see his Suicide Squad run crossover here.
I have not got to read his newest issue of Nightwing yet.
Oh, me neither.
So then Superboy talks to Jay and basically flat out asks him about it. And then Jay tells a story about how they were experimented on and on a boat to be. He says, "I escaped Gamora on a boat. I wasn't the only one, but we didn't get far. Bendis sent a gunboat to bring us down. And if it's not for them, the revolutionaries, they're not heroes like you, John. They don't hold back. But they saved me. They saved all of us." And then they learn about the. He talks about the things inside their head, and then John's like, "The Burning Man?" And then it says later at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, I like the thing here. They talk about the bombs in their heads, and then they review data of the guy who didn't move, and then talking about the bomb that blew up. that killed the guy. And John believes a moment of recognition before the device blew.
Mm-hmm.
So this gets John to believing that somebody is controlling these people from a device inside their heads.
Yep. And he's there talking now with Wally, who's the Flash. I had to remind myself that. And they see it through John's X-ray, and they get
The
the
Burning
Atom.
Man is Lachlan Shrapnel.
That's great. Awesome name. They get the Atom to run in, and he's messing with the bomb when Bendix tries to set the bomb off. And he's talking through him, and you see him sit up, and John and Wally go shooting through. And then we see the Atom jump out, and Superman catches him. And then Wally takes him. Superman, still wanted to call him Superboy, but John flies him out.
Yeah, I love this here. He says, I'll take the Atom, get Lachlan out of here. Bendix could blow the bomb in his head the second we're clear. He says, John, you and I have more time when we need it. Just breathe, focus, let it all stop. Think your way out.
And then I
Like,
like how John's talking back to Bendix. He says, I can hear the device triggering. I know what comes next. I've been here before, watched a man explode in my arms in slow motion. I was powerless then. I refuse to be now. Breathe, focus, let it all stop. Think your way out. I just had to quote what you just said because it's beautiful.
yeah, it's great.
Because it's true. Because then he uses, I super sped emergency microsurgery, a combination of X-ray vision and microscopic vision and heat vision. And then he says, I remember who I am. I remember who I was. Thank you. Welcome back, Lachlan.
Yeah, and then the last page here, we know that Luther's been working with Bendix. Luther, we're pushing the schedule forward. Why would we do that? The alien's son, he knows too much. We have to act now. You're talking about a hostile takeover of global proportions, Bendix. Having had my own successes and failures in this area, I can tell you it's not the kind of thing you want to rush. This is an update, not a planning session. Do you do what you said you'd do? Kill Superman. It's time for the heroes to fall.
Next, the return of Crypto. So that's cool. I figure they might try, like in July, to put out a comic with like Crypto in every book.
Right.
They're like, go see our movie.
Yeah.
We'll be talking more Crypto in July, anyways. So, all right, let's jump into World's Finest number 3. Let me ask you a question. Are you liking World's Finest?
Yeah.
I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it like I wanted to when I found out Mark Waid was writing a Superman and Batman book.
Yeah. The first 2 issues were a little bit more of a slog. It was very dense. There's a lot of people involved and there's a lot of story to tell.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, man, like, you know, this is Mark Waid who wrote a Superman book that I loved, and he wrote it in like 8 pages, you know. And I don't know. It could just be me. It could be me.
Well, I mean, that was a focused story on Superman and Superman alone. This is quite a few people. You know, they had how many villains in the first issue? They had the Doom Patrol in the second issue with adding Supergirl, time travel. They've gone back to ancient China. They've got the Flash and Mirror Master and Doctor Alchemy. Um, uh, they've got we got Green Lantern showing up. Like there's it's a very busy story.
Yeah.
The world building was the toughest thing to get through, I feel.
Yeah.
Which was the first couple of issues, because I like this one, but I like this issue better.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and take us there, James?
Excuse me. Sorry,
Yep.
it's a little late. um, so we open up where Batman, Shazam, and Superman have been sent to hell. Um, creatures talking to them, trying to like kind of break their spirits a little bit. Superman's very steady, quiet, calm. Um, he listens for a fourth heartbeat. He listens for Faust's heartbeat, and he knows that it's an illusion. He throws a batarang and sticks Faust. He tells him to fix Billy, which he did, but Billy's out. His mouth is back. And now we find out that the devil, Naza, is talking through him. The Doom Patrol is looking for Neza's tomb, Mont Blanc in Switzerland. Seems like Robot Man and the Doom Patrol are playing F, Marry, Kill on their way up the side of the mountains. They show up in the tomb and they find a general who, which is interesting here, it kind of just runs along the lines of the Doom Patrol. An immortal man cursed with dementia. How horrible. Negative man. My sympathy is mitigated by how many times he's tried to kill us, but yes. So, I mean, that's just very tragic to think about, even if he is a villain. They are searching for they're searching for Neza's tomb, where they can find him, and he has a little bit of information. He says there is a concealed tomb, an island off Corto Maltese. That's all they could get for him. Then you go back to China, 1579 BC, where Robin and Supergirl have traveled through time. They are fighting all the warriors of Xi. They tell them that they're legends where they come from, that they come from the future. They're not hiding. All they want to know is how to defeat Neza, how they defeated him. They say laboring for months in a hidden area on a distant island, an entire village exhausted 3 generations worth of magic in order to construct a special tomb designed to hold him. They they tell a story of they spent 5 days and 5 nights and endured so much pain and blood spilled as they pushed him back into the tomb. Eventually, with almost nothing left to give, we managed to herd him into his prison, but we're not done yet. There was a matter of sealing the door. Robin says, "Tell me," and they cut back to Superman and Batman flying to Central City to rescue the Flash and Wonder Woman. They don't see her as of yet. The Flash is fighting Mirror Master. The Superman is too late to stop the Flash from running into a trap through a mirror portal, and Mirror Master shatters it. Nearby, Wonder Woman is Clay once again. Dr. Alchemy from Clay the Amazon Rose, and to Clay she has returned. You, on the other hand, can be easily reduced to carbon.
which is extremely deep.
Yeah. Um,
I think it's interesting, just like you were saying, about all the characters. Like we have Supergirl, Robin, and then Flash, Wonder Woman. Very interesting. Like this is a big story when you think about it, and I'm loving the art.
yeah, the art is great. Lots of great pencils, great colors. It's just, yeah, it's very good. And we got Dan Mora, artist and cover. Tamara Bonneville, colors. Really, really great work. Um, so they are Superman and Batman got to try and help each other out at this point. Superman flies the mirror portal that is chasing him. He has to see where the Flash is, and um, he's taking the mirror portal and he flies it in front of Batman, so as it takes a blast from Doctor Alchemy, stops the portal from chasing Superman, and Superman takes down Doctor Alchemy. And then we have Green Lantern show up. Um, it's Green Lantern, glad we're not alone in this fight. Wait, word from where? Um, says, relax, guys. I've just gotten word that Neza's no longer using villains as soldiers. Green Lantern, glad you're not alone. We're not alone in this fight. Wait, word from where? He says, where do you think? And Lantern traps them in a cage. I don't understand. Nez has been imprisoned for millennia. How does he even know who all these heroes and villains are, or who else to conscript? Alfred, come in. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh man, I can see where this is going. And it went right where it was, and I think that's kind of sweet. I need you to check the Bat computer, see if anyone's accessed the Justice League servers. I'm looking now, Master Bruce, but I have to say, everything seems to be just as it should be. As you've got the Devil Neza with his hand on Alfred's shoulder.
Can I say one? It's nice to see Alfred back in the comic, since this is not continuity, and that's what seems to be the thing with the current, with any of the Batman, Superman, uh, together books, is they're kind of out of continuity now. They're like their own thing, and that's it's just nice to see Alfred back.
Yeah.
That was intense. No gonna lie.
It was a good book.
Yes, it
I
was.
liked it. Like I said, I liked it better this time around.
And maybe when I sit down and read it like straight, because it really did seem with that first book like we were just getting dropped. Like blip, here you go.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you open it up and it just starts off fighting, um, uh, people going after Batman, people going after Superman. The intensity, the freaking red kryptonite, like the Doom Patrol showing up. Yeah, it was busy.
But all right, it was a good run, good week, good books, good times here at Krypton Report. We got more coming up for you later in the month. Keep check out our dollar a month Patreon. It's $1. You get multiple episodes a month from patrons. We're glad to hear anyone can be on Patreon if they want to do and talk about anything. Just check it out. James, any final thoughts from you?
Um, no, I'm enjoying the DC books I've been reading. Instead, I haven't been able to get a whole lot in the last couple of weeks, so it was a nice day to read some good books.
And now we'll check in with Ollie for weather. Ollie, it's gonna rain. Thanks, Ollie. uh, it's Ohio.
It was raining.
It rained
yesterday
twice
and the day
today and
before.
stopped, and we had a horrible storm last night. It's yeah. Just remember.
Look up in the sky.
We just want to say, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please check out other podcasts on the Press Play Podcast Network. Remember to check out Krypton Report on all social media platforms. Go to linktree.com/Krypton Report. You find all of our information right there. And if you want to keep Krypton from exploding, join our $1 a month Patreon. That's right, for $1 a month, you'll get extra special content that you don't get on the main show, like movie commentaries and whatever else comes out of our mouths. So check it out, patreon.com/Krypton Report.
If you are like Tyler and James and can't get enough super talk, check out these other podcasts. Digging for Kryptonite, Supergirl Radio, The Last Sons of Krypton, The Superboy Legacy Podcast, All-Star Superfans, Superman the Animated Podcast, The Aspiring Kryptonians, Always Hold On to Smallville, Caped Wonder, The Geek of Steel, and Truth, Justice, and Hope Podcast.
Hey, we're going to press pause and hear a few words from our other podcasts on Press Play Podcast Network.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month, and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us, and then listen in.
This is Dan Jurgens, and if you want to have a good time, keep listening to the Krypton Report.